In this tutorial, I will be showing you the step-by-step process on how to set up your grade calculations for each of your classes. It is extremely important that these calculations are set up correctly so that PowerTeacher can accurately average the final grades for your students. Please take the time to check each setup in all of your classes to make sure they are correct. This will save yourself and others a lot of time and headaches at the end of the school year. In the Classes panel, click on the Current Classes drop-down menu. You can click on the current school year. All of your classes for the entire year will be shown in the Classes panel. Now click the Grade Setup tab. The following are considered reporting terms: F1, S1, S2, and C1. We are going to set these up first. These are reporting terms because their grades are calculated based on what other terms have as grades. The F1 represents your final average. S1 represents semester 1 average, S2 represents semester 2 average, and C1 represents the end of course exam grade, if you have one. To set up the course final grade calculations, double-click F1 reporting term at the top of the page. We are going to calculate the F1 final grade using term weights. We're going to use term weights because F1 is calculated based off of your semester 1, semester 2, and your end of course grades. Please note, do not click on the arrows besides S1 and S2 at the bottom of the page, because this will result in major calculation errors. Again, do not touch the arrows at the bottom of the page and change any weights. If no EOC is given, click in the weight column and set both S1 and S2 weights to 50 and C1 to 0. So semester 1 and semester 2 will both be 50% of your final grade. You can now click Save. If there is an EOC given, click in the weight column, set both S1 and S2 weights to 40 and C1 to 20. That is, S1 and S2 are 40% of your grade, and the end of course exam is 20% of your grade. Click Save. Now to set up first semester calculations, select S1, reporting term. At the bottom, we are going to select to calculate S1 final grade using term weights. Again, semester 1 is using term weights because it's based off of your quarter 1 and quarter 2 grades. We are going to set both Q1 and Q2 weights to 40. You can set E1 weight to 20. Quarter 1 and quarter 2 are both 40% of your semester 1 grade, and your exam is 20% of your semester 1 grade. You can now click Save. We are going to do the same thing for the second semester calculations. So select S2, reporting term. We're going to calculate S2 final grade using term weights. And for both Q3 and Q4, set the weights to 40 and your E2 weight to 20. And you can click Save. Now to calculate your C1 final grade. This is the end of course exam. We are going to calculate C1 using a category weight because we are going to use a category to determine this grade. At the bottom, select Add Category. And from the list of categories you created, check the exam box only and click OK. The exam category now shows up in this menu. In the weight column, we're going to set the exam weight to 100 and click Save. Quarter terms are averaged using your category assignment weights. To set up first quarter calculations, double-click Q1 reporting term. We are going to select to calculate Q1 final grade using category weights. At the bottom, select Add Category. From the list of categories you have created, check the box beside each category you will use during quarter 1 for this class, such as homework, projects, quiz, major assignments, etc. Click OK. We are now going to assign a weight to each category. These weights must correspond to the percentages found in your class syllabus. For example, if you use the district major and minor weighting categories, then your major weight should be 50 and your minor weight should be 50. Or for some schools, the major weight will be 60 and the minor weight will be 40. Remember, if you choose to break down the minor category to include homework, it cannot count more than 20%. It is important to check to make sure that the weight columns all add up to 100. Click Save. We can now save a little bit of time by copying the first quarter grade setup to other quarters if they are the same. Right-click on Q1 reporting term and select Copy Grade Setup Q1 only. Check Q2, Q3, and Q4. And this will copy Q1 setup into Q2, Q3, and Q4. And click Next. A confirm setup screen will appear. If the information is correct, click Finish. If information is not correct, click back and correct the information. If your class does not take an exam, you can continue to the next section, which is copying your grade setup. For classes that are taking an exam, we need to set up the exam calculations by selecting E1 reporting term. Select to calculate E1 final grade using category weights. At the bottom, we will add a category. From the list of categories you created, check the exam box only and click OK. In the weight column, we will set the exam weight to 100 and click Save. We can now copy the first semester exam E1 setup to the second semester exam E2 by right-clicking on the E1 reporting term. Select Copy Grade Setup E1 only. Now we will check E2 and this will copy E1 setup to E2. Click Next. A confirm setup screen will appear, and if the information is correct, click Finish. If the information is not correct, click back and correct the necessary information.